Hi, everyone. Hello. So, we're doing the live today for International Women's Day. Ayan, wait lang. Hello, wait lang. Magla-live din ako on Instagram. So, there. I am also live now on IG. I'm also live on Facebook, Bixie Facebook. We're also live on YouTube, my Bixie YouTube channel and Bixie LinkedIn. So, hello. Ayan, nag-join na yung mga friends ko. Ayan. Hi everyone. Okay, it's early. It's just 6:01 p.m. So, sige, today is International Women's Day. Again, happy International Women's Day to all the fabulous and amazing women out there. Ngayon, sige, sandali Okay, please share the live. Share nyo sa mga friends nyo, sa mga family nyo. We'll just wait for around 2-3 minutes while, waiting for people to go online. Ayan. It's 6:02 p.m. Ayan, maaga pa naman. Please share our live. We're live on IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. So today, it's International Women's Day. Ayan, mabuhay ang mga kababaihan. O, diba? Sandali, tignan natin kung ano nangyayari, what's happening in the world of social media. Yeah. Please share the live sa mga friends nyo, na mga pareho nating kababaihan. Ayan. Yan. I'm also live. I'm trying to look kung ano bang ganap ko ngayon sa Bixie. But yeah, we're on live. We're doing okay on Bixie Instagram and on Facebook. I can see that. Also, I received a notification that I'm also live on IG, and on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So, today, dahil nga International Women's Day, syempre ang mga guests natin, tatlong magagandang kababaihan. Ayan. At hindi lang sila maganda. They're not just, like beautiful, talented. But of course, they are empowered and strong women. Ayan. I will be adding them to the stream right now. Ayan. So, Sarah, your camera is not yet working. Sige, i-mute ko muna kayo There. So, right. So tonight, while waiting for one of our guests to, alam nyo na, mahirap ngayon. We're living in the metaverse and our best friend is the internet. So depende yan sa speed ng bandwidth. So today, we invited actually 3 fabulous women to be part of our International Women's Day Live. But before we go and call them, ayan, so all our attendees tonight, if you have wait lang i-include ko muna sila sa Facebook Live. Kim, in-invite na kita. And then Tris Blanco, okay, and Nicole. Okay, I sent you an invitation already. Tatlo kayo. Tris, I think you have to baliktad your camera. Okay. Tapos, okay, Sarah is here. Ayan. Nagpasalon pa yan. Okay. Ladies, Kim, Sarah, Patrice, paki-lower down yung volume ng IG nyo. Pinaka-lowest of lowest yung IG nyo. Kasi wag nyo i-mute para marinig pa rin kayo on IG. But please lower it down para hindi mag-echo. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, ayan, of course, ladies at sa lahat ng mga gentlemen na nanonood today sa ating live. So, Sarah, you cannot join now on Facebook. Let's try again later. On IG, let's try again later. But yeah, without further ado, ito na. Before I start introducing our ladies, so meron pa rin tayong giveaway here here in Bixie. We are still giving away free insurance coverage sa ating mga attendees. So paano ito? You have to download the Bixie app, and for today, just go to the community and events, tapos download, comment lang kayo, break the bias. Why break the bias? Diba? Because for this year's International Women's Day celebration, the theme is breaking the bias. So paano nga ba break the bias ng mga guests natin this evening, ang bias against women in matters like finances, investing, starting their own business. Di ba lagi nating sinasabi na, this is a man's world, but with our guests today, napatunayan nila na no, this is a man's and also a woman's world. So, I'll start to introduce our guests for today. Ito, very interesting. Grabe no, itong first speaker natin, she was a former HR professional, but now she's a thriving businesswoman. So she has an only daughter and also has a partner. And dati pastime lang niya yung pagbe-bake. Ngayon ginawa na niyang full-time. But not just that, diba? Not just one. So over a year later, she ventured on retail focusing on kids' clothes. So from baking, fashion naman ngayon yung passion niya. So, but of course, maintaining pa rin yung baking goods niya. Actually, natikman ko na yung goods niya kasi pamangkin siya ng office mate ko. Huwag niyo nang tanungin yung age gap namin. So, and then he had a positive response to consumers, so she added more to her previous collections. And eto na, during the pandemic didn't stop her from, getting more items and creating more items. She started another online store. Grabe naman, not just one, not just two, but 3 online stores. So after a few months, they started another online store that sells high-quality washable face masks that are trendy and fashionable. We all love that. I think into the pandemic, it's 2 years. It's like ilang taon na. So ang hirap. So dapat maganda na yung mga gamit nating mga mask. So ayan, sagot na ni Patrice yan. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker, say hi to the camera, is Miss Patrice Blanco.
Hi guys! Hi everybody, I'm Patrice.
Lower yung volume ng IG mo ha. Yeah. Yung IG mo, i-lower mo. Yeah. And then, eto naman, itong next speaker natin. Okay. Ito, idol ko to eh. Mas bata to sa akin, but idol ko to. So, with a vision to empower, very Miss Universe ang introduction ko for her because, she is a Miss Universe in her own fabulous way. So, with a vision to empower people through her love for clothes and by telling her journey on how she grew her brand one step at a time. Nakilala ko si Kim, bata pa to. Bata pa rin naman siya, but I think she was still in the university, taking her bachelor's degree. Tas nakilala ko siya. She also started with working, but now she has, like I mentioned, she has her own clothing brand. And now she will continue to live her passion with Wear Kim Santiago until it becomes a staple in every girl's closet. O diba ang bongga? So, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, our next speaker is Kim. Ayan, si Kim. Hi, Kim. Kim Santiago, of course. Ayan. Hi, Kim.
Hi everyone. Hi din sa lahat ng nanonood, especially sa IG. Ayan, good evening everyone. Hello, Patrice and Ate Vil. Asa yung sisi ko?
Ayan, so, live na siya sa IG. So, live na si Sarah on IG. So, I think may mga technical difficulties, na nangyayari ngayon kung nasaan man siya. But, our third speaker, sorry to our Facebook viewers, you may want to transfer to IG, because she's here if you have access to IG. So, Sarah, the third speaker, ayan. Siyempre, hindi din papakabog to. Actually, sister siya ni Kim. No, yes. I met Sarah many years back through a common friend. So, bakit kami nag-click? Kasi pareho kaming maingay. We're both just, just talking and talking. But at the same time, mahilig din kami magbebenta, yan, magbenta ng mga things, mga from, like, of course, everything that we're selling is legal, ha. Just yun. So, she started that way. She actually, mamaya kukwento niya ng mas buo, no? So, she actually had a break from school. So, sabi niya, gusto ko nang mag-business, Ate Bill, ganyan pa siya. So, talagang businesswoman siya. And then, she went to school. But of course, excellent pa rin siya in her school. Tapos, now, she is doing full-time, ayan, luxury shopping, personal shopper siya. And she's based in the States. But I'm really thankful that she's here. I'm really thankful that she is here right now kasi 4 a.m. pa kung saan man siya. She's now based in LA. So without further ado, our third speaker is none other than Miss Sarah Santiago. So yeah. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Ayan, so merong feedback daw na narinig. Please make sure that lahat ng mga gadgets natin on the one we're using for IG are lowered to the lowest volume para hindi mag-echo. At the same time, kapag naman it's not our turn to talk, mute na lang. Okay? All right. So, for International Women's Day, of course, I prepared some question, no? Ayan. Unahin natin si Patrice. Yan. Unahin natin si Patrice. Yan. Unmute mo muna, Patrice. Okay. Okay, unmute yourself. So, tell me about your story, your background, yan, yung mga personal experience mo, and of course, what you're doing at present.
Okay, so, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. Okay. So now I have 3 online businesses. One is for baking, which is Tea's Oven. I offer baked goods such as oatmeal cookies, lactation cookies, and also brownies. And then for the second one is MPM Manila. I sell mostly children's clothes and some pre-loved items from my family and friends, and also myself, of course. And then the third one is MPM Prints Manila. For now, for MPM Prints, we're only selling washable face masks, but eventually we're in the process of developing new products such as bags or shirts or something, whatever we can get our hands on. So I'll talk about the Tea's Oven first. So since that's my major business, I started actually selling my baked goods since I was in college. So that's X years ago. But it's mainly just my hobby then. Partly sideline also when I was working as a full-time HR professional. So since a lot of my friends and family kept encouraging me to try it as a business before, so far the feedback from strangers or other people naman were good. So I decided also this pandemic to make it as a full-time business since I already have a kid and I wanted to be a full-time mom as well. So you know naman how hard it is as a working mom, right? And I don't have a yaya to take care of my kid. So I decided to go full-time with my business so that I can handle my time. And then, my main focus right now is developing the 3 businesses alongside motherhood. So with the Tea's Oven, I started it back in February 2020. Actually, I just revived it from the previous businesses that I've been making throughout the years. And then this is the final one for now. And I started with the oatmeal cookies because that's what I've been making since I was in college. And then eventually, one of the things that I was looking for when I became a mom was lactation cookies because I was a breastfeeding months until I think last month. My baby's already 6 years old. So I wanted to offer some lactation goods to help struggling mamas like I did before with breast milk. So there, I tried to make lactation goods. I turned my oatmeal cookies into lactation goods. So basically, they taste the same, but it's healthy for mamas to make more milk, something like that. And then also, I offer brownies. It has been a recipe of my aunt since I was a little kid, and I retained that recipe. And then so far, most of the people who ordered from me, they liked it as well. So I'm currently developing that one as well. So yeah, that's it for Tea's Oven. And then for MPM Manila, I just went with my niche. So since I'm a mom, I know what most mothers would look for, or what goods are actually um, what goods moms or parents would usually look for or buy for their kids. Because usually when you're a mom, you don't really buy for yourself anymore. You buy for your kids, right? So that's what encouraged me to start the clothing business for children. So there, and then also because my age group is actually the time where people are already having kids, setting up families. So yeah, and I have my market, my own market, until I was able to expand bigger to strangers. I decided to go on Shopee with the clothing brand, because at first I was selling it to my friends, to my family, and then yeah, until it grew a little bigger. So yeah, I'm still developing I'm getting more stuff to sell pa. So my Shopee and my other my Instagram page and carousel for the clothing brand is not yet that hindi pa siya puno actually, because I'm still trying to fix it right now. And then lastly, for MPM prints, I also went with the fad of selling essential items for the pandemic. So since yun nga, everyone's required to wear a mask, and then of course there are some of us who also consider our look when we go out, even if we're wearing masks. So of course, I myself wanted to, syempre, pretty muna. Yun. So I decided to join my sister-in-law with the selling of face masks. And then yeah, and so far we've been trying to design different goods as well, so that eventually we can sell more more stuff like shirts and bags. So that's it for the background. So
Okay. So, grabe naman yung mga minention ni Patrice, no? From baking to children's clothing. Now, in the pandemic, she was actually very brave, no, to start. Okay, mask naman tayo. And to be honest, when I was talking to her, I checked her Shopee and her prints. They're really nice. They're really fashionable, ha. And they are something I really want to wear. I would really wear outside. So maasahan mo, Patrice. I'll tell Shion, my friend. So actually, kanina pala na-mention when I posted your profile, no, nakita ka nung friends ko, si Rachel Lanto. Shucks, what was her maiden name? Etilio, yeah. And Noel, they were actually your classmates daw in college. So
yes.
I hope you're watching right now.
I hope so, though, if we're already awake.
O, diba? Ang small ng world. So, ayan, thank you, Patrice. Move on naman tayo kay Kim. O, paano ka naman nagsimula? What's your story with where Kim Santiago?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Ate, narinig niyo ba ako? Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. Hi, everyone. Hello sa mga viewers. So, prati ko na yata itong nakakwento, pero ulitin ko ulit. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Kim Santiago, and I'm a content creator. Right now, I'm a content creator and a full-time entrepreneur for Wear Kim Santiago. So, my background is my course in college was management accounting. So, as expected, corporate job ka after. So, yun naman yung ginawa ko. That's what I did right after college, right after I graduated.
Kim,
Nag-work
sorry,
ako.
wait lang
Sige.
Nag-echo daw, so paki-lower yung volume ng IG mo.
Super low na siya. Hindi ko alam.
Okay.
As in,
Sige, sige.
super max na.
Okay. Sige, sige.
Carry lang. Dali. Okay lang. Okay lang. Okay na, Tivil? Hindi ako marinig. Ano ate? Sorry. Okay na? Nag-feedback? Paano kaya? Super wala na talaga.
You try to mute na lang muna the volume of both devices since you're the one talking.
Ano, sorry?
Mute mo na lang muna yung audio mo for both devices para hindi mag-feedback sa'yo. Lower yung volume as in yung speaker. The speaker. Naka-mute ka.
Kim, you unmute yourself sa StreamYard. Ayan. But lower it down.
Okay. Ayan. Okay na? Okay. So, where am I? Where was I? Yeah, after ko graduate, so diretso ako ng corporate job kasi yun yung expected of me. Pero, less than a year, nag-resign din ako, 8 months to be exact. Tapos, I decided to pursue what I really want. Pero during that time, hindi ko pa alam kung anong gusto kong gawin talaga. So, what I did was, lahat ng interest and hobbies ko that time, which is makeup, ano bang pinagagawa ko noon? Makeup, hair and makeup, tapos nag-try din ako mag-artist sa Ativille. Hindi ko alam kung na-share ko before. Nag Star Magic, tapos nag-theater sa PETA. But then, at first, I enjoyed it. Lahat, pati yung hair and makeup, and then yung pag-acting. But then, after a while, parang I feel like it's not for me. So, parang, okay, hanap na naman tayo ng panibagong dream ba? Parang ganon. So, until napunta ako sa clothes, which is ever since growing up naman, parati talaga yung bonding din namin ng sister ko and then yung mom ko is clothes. Mahilig kami alam mo yun, fashion show, ganyan. So, nung napunta ako sa clothing business, dun ko na-realize na, okay, this is something na I can do for the rest of my life. And kahit, of course, it comes with challenges and setbacks and failures, pero pag mahal mo kasi yung ginagawa mo, you still pursue it even if sobrang hirap na. So, yeah. Yun, kaya ako napunta dito. Sorry, wala na ako marinig.
There. Ako naman yung nakamute. So, grabe no, ang diverse din ng mga ginawa ni Kim, nag-corporate, tapos nag-artista pa pala. I think I remember this, hindi ko na siguro masyadong matandaan, but what I clearly remember was your makeup gigs. Ayan.
Yeah.
Sobrang galing ka mag-makeup, by the way. So, Our
Thanks.
since andito yung wala since our third speaker is repeatedly disconnected, no, so we apologize for that. I think the internet in her area is not really like working really well. So sige, proceed tayo. So ayan, you have your own businesses. Ayan, si Patrice tatlo. Si Kim, aside from being a fashion, kumbaga, an owner of a clothing line, ano din to vlogger din to, tsaka influencer. So, alam mo yon, lifestyle influencer. So, if you go to her IG, you will actually see her there with, like, with everything she supports. Ayan. But of course, with Where Kim Santiago, yun yung main focus niya. So, ito, move on tayo sa mas mabigat na usapin kasi nga breaking the bias tayo ngayon. So, ito, ano yung mga challenges kung na-encounter nyo with your businesses, and at the same time, di ba, at bilang mga kababaihan, pansin ko hindi natin masyadong napag-uusapan yung finances. Ayan. As I mentioned earlier, there are times or laging sinasabi, this is a man's world. So talagang minsan yung usaping finances, very intimidating. Even myself, nung una parang shucks, paano nga ba aatakihin to? So two questions siguro, what are the challenges? And how do you handle your finances? Yan, budgeting, saving, investing, and all those stuff. So siguro balik tayo kay Patrice.
Wait lang. Ate Vil, sorry. Online daw si ate. Pa-accept daw.
Patrice, you can start while I'll figure with Sarah.
Okay. So yun. So as I've mentioned earlier, I started at a really a young age with business. So actually, I tried a lot of other businesses as well before these three that I'm currently focusing on. So one of them, I tried making accessories before, and then also I tried a restaurant business. But of course, medyo mahirap din kasi yung management ng mga ganong industry. Especially with the accessories kasi I do everything myself. So, nawalan din ako ng time when I entered the corporate world. So, ang pinaka naging okay na lang for me was to focus with my job before. And then, yun, after I had a kid, that's when I decided that I wanted to have a business na lang. So, regarding the challenges, when I started these three, the first one, because the teas oven, during the pandemic kasi, of course, one of the major challenges is the supply. Because diba ECQ that time, so I couldn't really go out and buy stuff. And also with the deliveries, since I live in San Pedro Laguna, I couldn't go across borders. So one of the challenges is how I could actually get my goods to other parts other than where I am. So especially in Metro Manila, diba, may closed yung borders at that time. So I focused on serving the nearby areas first, yung kayang abutin na, or pwede ko i-deliver myself because I drive naman. So it first started with the villages around my village, and then until nag-ease up ng konti yung ECQ, I was able to go to Metro Manila. So yun, and then I was able to get more, what do you call this? More supplies. So that's when I started developing the lactation cookies. Because before, when the pandemic started, I only started with just my oatmeal cookies. And then, yun nga, since I've seen a lot of my friends who've been asking around social media where to get those stuff to increase their supply, yun, I actually wanted to try to experiment. And then, luckily enough, maganda naman yung naging feedback sa akin. So far, actually, siya yung bumubuhay sa business ko ng teas oven, since it's actually a demand and supply scenario. So, syempre, parang nagkaroon ako ng regular customers because they need it. Unlike with normal cookies, hindi ka naman palaging bibili just because you want. Ito kasi is more of you need it for your baby. So, yun, that's why that's what's really keeping my business up nowadays. So I'm trying other ways then to go around kung paano pa ako magde-develop ng ibang lactation goods, but so far, so good. Ayun. And then with MPM Manila, with the clothing brand, of course, one of the struggles is, syempre, since again, I lived here in San Pedro for most of the pandemic. Mahirap for me to get suppliers because either the shipping is very, very expensive, or, of course, I cannot go there myself every time. Mahirap din kasi yung bibili ka from online and then iba yung dadating sa'yo. So eventually, last October 2021, my small family decided to live in Quezon City first to focus on business. So there, I was able to get a lot of suppliers, and then we started, what they call this? We started with bazaars in Vertis North, the one behind Trinoma. So yun, nag-try kami mag-bazaar, and then so far maganda naman din yung naging feedback. So yun, that encouraged me also to, laban lang. Kahit mahirap, kasi one-man team ako. So I had my, especially December, of course, height siya ng gift giving. So I had to bake everything myself. I don't know how I managed to bake 250 jars of my everything while doing the bazaar also. So yun, very challenging siya. And then, also with the MPM prints, yun na lang yung ginawa kong parang, yun kasi medyo hindi ako masyadong hands-on, since our setup with my supplier is I just fix the orders from Shopee, and then they produce everything and ship out everything. So parang siyang drop shipping. Pero yun na yung nakatulong sa akin with my source of income din, kasi I don't really need a big capital for it, or I don't really I don't need to put out money because they just make everything to order. So yun yung pinaka nagustuhan ko with the supplier. So medyo hinga-hinga ako on that part. Pero yun talaga, ang pinaka-challenging for me is the clothing and then the baking, kasi I do everything myself as in one-man team plus mommy duties. So yun. So far, nalagpasan ko naman sila, so ngayon, medyo-relax na. Yun lang.
Okay. So, thank you, Patrice. Grabe yung mga challenges mo. It's more of the logistics. Yung ikaw lang yung gumagawa. One-man team nga, from conceptualization to baking actually to delivery. Talaga naman, nagda-drive pa. So, yun yung mga challenges na na-encounter niya. Kim, I have a different question for you. So, na-mention mo kanina, sorry, I'm mute pala on IG. So, Kim, unahin siguro natin si Sarah. Ay, nag-hang siya. So, sige, Kim, I have a different question naman for you. As a businesswoman, no, marami ka nang napagdaanan, corporate life, business, nag-artista ka pa, nag-makeup. So, ngayon, thriving na yung Wear Kim Santiago, and of course, you as a vlogger, as a lifestyle influencer. So, what are some financial considerations for women to be able to, kumbaga parang to encourage women, ano yung mga programa mo or yung mga pwede mong masabi sa kanila, like paano ka nagbo-budget, paano ka nag-i-invest, paano ka nagsi-save, mga ganon.
Yeah. So syempre before, 'di ba, nag-work ako sa corporate world. So naranasan ko maging employee, and bilang employee, as an employee, I really appreciate it when my employer appreciate me. Parang if ever I do something, nakita ko na na-appreciate niya, and parang bina-value niya yung work na ina-add ko sa company. So yun yung feel ko na nadala ko sa right now, na ako na yung merong mga empleyado, na ako na yung employer. Yun yung dinala ko sa business ko right now, na pag meron akong nakikita na yung mga employees ko na they're going out of their way to do something, kahit hindi na siya work-related, I make sure na it's being rewarded. Not necessarily monetary, pero syempre, of course, meron din ako mga incentives na monetary. Pero, basta I make sure na it gets rewarded. For example, yung problem ko kasi before nung sa tahian ko is, high yung turnover ng mananahe. Mabilis mag-resign, ganon. So what I did was, every 6 months, meron na silang incentive. Parang suhol ba para magstay, ganon. But sila, super na-appreciate nila yun kasi wala namang ganun sa ibang, like sa industry namin, wala namang ganun na nag-i-incentive na nagsistay ka. So in return, mas nagiging, may nilook forward to sila. Like, they feel like, parang na-appreciate ni mom na nagsistay ako, so nare-reward ako ng ganyan. So pag mas happy sila, mas maganda yung trabaho, mas maganda yung flow ng dynamic sa workplace, and then in return, mas mas ano ka, mas mababawasan yung iniisip mo kasi maayos yung workplace, and then ikaw magbebenta ka na lang, ganun. So,
Ayun. Sorry, Kim,
yun.
interrupt kita. I love yung dalawang things that you mentioned, no? Appreciating the work and, of course, the person, and
Yeah.
giving rewards or incentives to, quality performance. So,
Yeah.
as women, kasi madalas na pag-uusapan sa corporate world or kahit saang industriya na sometimes, yung trabaho ng babae, kahit kasing level siya ng trabaho ng isang lalaki, ay kumbaga mas nakakakuha ng credit yung mga men. So I actually applaud you for putting that out in your own company that 'di ba? I know yung mga mananahi mo, yung mga staff mo, nakita ko na yung iba, and I see how you treat them. Yan mga kababaihan, yung mga medyo may yung iba may mga mas matanda sa atin. But then of course, number one, they are still appreciated as women, as workers. At the same time, they are given incentives for whatever quality work they are produced. So it's actually one of the ways no to break the bias na, hey, kahit babae ka, if you're doing well, you will be appreciated and rewarded. So sige, nawala ulit si Sarah, no? So sige, paano ka naman nagbabudget? Paano ka nagbabudget? Nag-save, nag-invest? Anything about finance?
Okay, so yung pagsisave naman, what I did was, kasi syempre, nung before, actually kasi yung working medyo ngayon lang nagbo-boom, nung pandemic lang actually, Ate Bill. Hindi ko na alam paano nangyari yun. Pero, mas nag-boom kami nitong pandemic. Pero before, parang ano lang siya, alam mo, sakto-sakto lang. Parang patawid-tawid ka lang. Pero ngayon, nung medyo dumadami na yung income, dun ako nag-research about how to save. Kasi syempre gusto kong ma-manage din yung money ko well. So that's when I started to pay myself na rin. Kasi before, syempre pag starting ka sa business, hindi mo, alam mo yun, parang isang fund lang siya eh. So ngayon, nag-start na akong i-pay yung sarili ko, and then hinahati ko yung, nag-open ako ng different bank accounts kasi sineseparate ko na talaga yung savings, and meron din kasi yung for giving kasi kailangan talaga yon eh. Kailangan you give something back sa, like in your own way. Kailangan meron kang fund for giving, and then meron ka ding or tithes, and meron kang fund for investing, and meron ka ding fund for yourself. Yung para kasi hindi ka mabe-burned out, meron ka dapat fund na you can, parang playtime fund mo ba, that you can spoil yourself with. Kasi pag super work ka lang ng work, and then save ka ng save for something na parang kailangan mo talaga spoil yung sarili mo. So that's how I save my money right now. Talagang hinihiwalay ko na siya. Kasi pag isang buo lang yung pera mo, ang hirap parang it's hard to see kung saan na ba napupunta yung pera mo. Baka mamaya puro ka na lang lakwatsa, or puro ka na lang bigay, or puro ka na lang savings, ganun. So that's how I manage my savings right now.
Ayan. Gusto ko yung sinabi mo, Kim. Ang ganda actually kasi kumbaga, you actually opened several bank accounts, no, for whatever money that is left with you. Syempre, after magbayad ng mga expenses, mga taxes, and also you have, number one, sabi mo, you have to pay yourself, of course. Kasama yan. And then you have to save. You have a savings account. And this is very nice, actually. You actually have a giving account. Yung nabanggit mo nga, you have to give something to the community. And this is not, hindi ito obligatory, but you're still doing it. At the same time, you also have your tithes account. So, para sa amin na mga Christian, we actually give tithes, no? We do tithing in church. So, meron ding account si Kim para doon. At the same time, meron din siyang investment account. Yan. At so, she has savings, she has giving, she has tithing, and investment. And she also have this one, a playtime account. I think I will be using this now. Playtime account. So, ito, nilagay niyo dyan, if she wants to buy something really nice bracelet, or a nice pair of shoes, then she can get from that. Para tama naman siya na hindi lang work, like talagang you're wearing yourself out working. But of course, there's a balance to everything. So, Sarah keeps on being disconnected. I'm gonna ask naman itong si Patrice. Ayan. So Patrice, you mentioned during our conversation, no? You have a partner and you are also a mom. So how do you discuss naman mga finance matters with your partner? Of course, paano yung dynamic nyo, kung paano kayo magsisave, paano kayo mag-invest, gano'n.
Okay, so just like with Kim, I also opened up different bank accounts for different businesses para hindi magulo. So, kasi also some of the funds of our family business sa akin din pumapasok. So, very challenging siya how to juggle the finances. At first, syempre, nung baking pa lang, yung teas oven pa lang yung nasa akin, medyo naguluhan ako with my personal money, and then yung money of our family business, and then also yung sa teas oven. So, I learned eventually that I really have to separate everything. So, yun, I opened up several bank accounts for different purposes. So, one of each para dun sa each businesses, and then each business. And then, also, I opened up another account for my daughter. So, yun na yung parang savings namin. Because, syempre, when you have a kid, parang ang saving mo na is not for yourself. It's more of your kid's future. So, usapan namin, well, not really usapan, pero what happens is that sa tuition, it's more of my partner's responsibility kasi he has the stable job. And then for the groceries or yung mga needs na extracurricular activities like my baby's ballet, ganon. Sa akin na yun, yung mga ganon. So in small ways, hindi na namin siya technically parang inuupuan na kailangan ikaw dito, ikaw sa ganyan. So parang more of pareho kaming may saving ng partner ko. We have savings. And then, pinag-usapan na lang namin minsan na ako na lang muna dito sa ganito. This is the amount of grocery that I spent. So, minsan, sabi siya, sige, I can send you. Pero minsan, pag may extra funds naman talaga, I do it myself. Parang kaya naman or meron pa akong ibang gustong bilhin. So, yun. Parang, yun yung pinaka-dynamic namin as a couple. But syempre, yun, mainly talaga is we're saving for our daughter's future. So hopefully, one of these days, we get to have our own house, our own car, yung mga ganon. So yun, medyo challenging lang din siya kasi at first, we started with having our daughter unexpectedly. So, nandun pa kami sa time na medyo party-party. So syempre, wala kaming savings and all. So we had to crawl for mga 5, 6, 7, mga 5 years, gano'n, technically. Until yun, recently na medyo naging stable na yung businesses ko and also yung job ng partner ko, naging stable na rin siya. So yun, unti-unti nakakaipon and then yun, eventually, sana. Diba? Yun.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you, Patrice. Very nice, no? So, nag-work pala talaga for almost everyone, no? Lahat na makakausap ko, yung separate bank accounts. Actually, I also tried doing that kasi hindi din ako magaling before with, ganyan. Akala ko dati okay na yung isang account. But hindi pala. Now, I have like an account for like payments lang, may payroll. Siyempre, may payroll kasi I'm currently employed. And then, I put monthly into this thing na parang stock investment, mga ganon. So, ako, I'm a believer in that. So, but of course, if you have different methods, it also works. And dito kay Patrice, it's different from, from Kim and I, kasi we're single people. She has a partner and a child. So very important yung sabi niya, they actually are doing things together when it comes to expenses, but mainly jointly they are saving for their kids future, and of course education, or kung ano man yan in the future na kailangan niya. Andito si Sarah on IG. Sorry for our Facebook, wala siya dito. But on IG, Sarah, ayan, since you're here, tell us a bit about your story at kung paano ka naman, paano ka nag-jump into entrepreneur from being, like, nag-try ka munang mag-work after school, and then you jump to being an entrepreneur. And now, paano ka naman nagmamanage ng sarili mong finances?
I was just waiting for me to move to the States. So it was just me wanting to get few months or like few years of work experience in the Philippines before I finally start my career here in the US. But I wasn't really happy doing corporate life. Parang it hindi siya I don't find joy doing corporate work or like doing financial things, which is kind of uh, something na actually something nagawa namin ng mommy ko, because my mom, of course, she's an accountant here in the US, and she's thriving in her career. So what she really thought na I would also be like that once I move here. But I decided that I'll just resign from my work and forget about the work experience. Bahala na. I'll just do what I want to do. So I stick with what I love. I started in Luso with just a few amount of savings, and then I think I started in Luso October of 2020, October 2020, and then from then on, I've been doing free personal shopping experience to all of my clients. So even if nandito na ako sa States, yun pa rin yung work ko. And then when it comes to financial freedom, with when it comes to Iluso, the nature of Iluso, it entails a lot of X amount of revolving cash. So you really have majority of what I earn, I put it into my capital. Let's say for example, majority we can only transfer 50,000. I think sa Philippines BPI, BDO, Metro
Okay. Okay. Uh, Hello for our viewers here in Facebook. So I was talking, Sarah shared her story and her, a bit of financial advice on how she handles her finances, no? Sa IG, pasensya na po kasi hindi talaga nag-work yung StreamYard niya where she is right now. So we cannot bring her into Facebook. So two things that she mentioned. Number one, sabi niya, nothing is fixed. She's a businesswoman. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is permanent. She realized that because she had few businesses when few small businesses before where she is right now. She actually has a shop, mga luxury goods naman. So speaking of luxury goods, of course they are expensive, they are luxurious kumbaga nga. So it's good. She was mentioning earlier that it's good, no, na na-experience niya yung mga small businesses and how she closed them, how she ended some of them, some voluntarily and some she really had to end them because, of some financial and other considerations. So, yun ang sabi niya, she's more careful right now with her finances. She saves enough amount para sa revolving capital ng iluso ng business niya. At the same time, join sila ni Kim, yung sister niya, with investments. So sabi niya hindi man like gaano kalaki yung investments nila ngayon, but she knows that when you start small, lalo dalawa sila, they can actually invest in bigger things later on. So that's on investing. Ito, ang gandang advice nito because Sarah is working in luxury goods, no? So when you say luxury goods, there are nice purses. So talaga naman, we love, no? Kaming mga babae, we're maarte, we like this and we like that. Ang dami, unlimited talaga, insatiable yung mga gusto namin. Admittedly, ako din, isa akong ganun. But I actually echo this. Not, sabi niya, she doesn't buy something that she cannot pay in cash. So to be fair naman, ginagawa ko yan when it comes to yung mga ganyan, mga purses. So I just have a few naman. But all of them, sabi ko noon, hindi ko bibilhin to kung hindi ko kayang iayuda ng buo yung cash na yung bayad nito kasi para tapos na, wala na akong isipin. So that's how I did it. Tapos may limit lang ako na alam mo, one every 2 years or one a year. That's it. That's my limit. So actually, nakikita ko yung mga pinopost ni Sarah. Tapos nakita ko yung presyo, sabi ko, ay, hindi ko to kayang bayaran in cash. So, pass tayo dyan. So, that's actually a very good advice. When it comes to things na hindi naman talaga siya, di ba, luxury, it's a luxury good. Hindi siya everyday necessity. It's not my food. It's not my, it's not my shelter. So, yeah, that's actually a very good advice. Coming from her, she's actually a seller, but she's actually sharing it out there na do not buy something you cannot buy in cash. So, balik naman tayo ngayon kay Patrice. Ayan. So, tingin mo, Patrice, anong age, ilang years pa bago ka mag-retire? I'm not sure if you're comfortable sharing your age to the audience, but tingin mo ilang years ka pa mag-retire, bago mag-retire? And para sa'yo, ano ang financial freedom?
Okay, so syempre, I think most of us, syempre, ang goal natin before we become senior citizens, we retire. So, syempre, nung bata ka, parang iniisip mo, ay, by 30s, I want to retire, ganyan. But now, I'm already 32. So, parang malayo pa siya from retirement, especially when you have a kid, because everything, not everything naman, pero most of your income will go to your family na. So, it's not just about yourself. So, if I were to plan, or actually my plan is syempre by 50 siguro I'm already semi-retired, but ang goal ko kasi with my businesses syempre eventually siguro in 5 years time I want to make it big. Kung hindi man silang tatlo, at least one of them takes off to a larger scale, just like what I've mentioned with my profile with you, Bill. Yun. Syempre, since small-scale businesses lang sila for now, ang pinagkakabisihan ko kasi right now is developing products for each of them. So, ang goal ko talaga end of the year, at least man lang by December, maging supplier ako ng whichever man sa kanilang tatlo, kung hindi man kaya with everything. Kasi for now, if I'm gonna think about being a supplier for the cookies, medyo baka mabaliw ako since wala pa akong tao to do that for me. Especially kasi pandemic din, of course, I cannot just invite somebody over to my house where I do my baking I cannot compromise the health of my family din naman. Pero eventually, what I'm doing right now with the clothes, nag-iipon ako ng suppliers because I actually want to have my own line, like own designs ko. I want to have my own designs para makapag-supply din ako. Kasi parang naisip ko, with my own suppliers, kung kaya nila, bakit hindi ko kaya? Diba? So parang ganon. Actually, non-stop ako with social media, especially kahit sa Shopee nga lang or even sa carousel. Parang everyday akong nasa phone ko doing market research. Para ano na ba yung mga kailangan ng mga tao ngayon. So, follow lang ng follow. So, just like at first, when I started with my baking, like, ano lang siya, normal lang na cookies. And then eventually, nakita ko, ay, kailangan pala ng mommies my age, ganyan. They want, they need help with producing milk, like I did before. So, yun ang next target ko. And then, yun, nakita ko rin na pati yung sa friends ko din, naghahanap ng, saan ba makakahanap ng mura na magandang klaseng clothes for kids, ganyan. So, syempre, I sourced for suppliers also. So, that's how I started with that one. And then, same with the masks. Kasi everyone's well, not naman everyone, pero since it's essential, syempre, patol din tayo sa kung anong uso. Parang ganun lang naman sa business di ba? So kung ano yung fad, yun din yung papatulan mo. Just like I've said earlier, hindi naging successful yung ibang businesses ko, but of course, through that, nalaman ko na kung paano patakbuhin yung current businesses ko. Through experience talaga siya Kasi hindi, swertihan na lang siguro yung first business mo, take off kaagad. But I think most entrepreneurs start really small and end up in failure at some point. So yun lang talaga. So basically my goal is yun, maging bigger naman siya eventually. So hanap lang talaga ng suppliers. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrice. So sabi niya, 50, that's it. Semi-retire. She will be free to do whatever she wants. She will have, ang financial freedom kasi is you will have an option to like work or not. Wala namang magbabawal sa atin to like pursue work more. Kasi I also think na hindi naman ako titigil siguro, but it would be really nice to have an option na parang I'm really tired. I'm really like I want to rest, and we want that as women to have the option, no? So sabi niya 51, and two things that I got from her, sabi niya market research, and she's actually setting targets. So okay, by the end of this year, I will become a supplier. By year 2, I will become this. By the next year, I will have my own line, and that those are actually good targets, no? Because nagiging consistent siya and nagiging mas malaki yung aim niya, and that's actually good for someone who is an entrepreneur, especially sa fashion world, nag-evolve yan, or hindi na talaga natin alam yung mangyayari. So it's really nice to do market research and of course to set targets. Ayan. I'm trying to put Sarah back in the StreamYard. I'm gonna message you, Sarah, yung link ulit. Pero lipat tayo kay Kim. Kim, ito naman yung question ko sa'yo. Quick answer lang at ilang mute ka muna ha. Mute ka muna. Ilang years ka tingin mo magre-retire? And pangalawa, how do you break the bias in your own little way as an entrepreneur, as a boss, as an employer?
Hello. So actually, when I was thinking of kung kailan ako magre-retire, kasi parang for me, okay lang ba? For me kasi pag naisip ko ang retire, ibig sabihin parang tambay na lang ako. So, pero parang I don't think na I'll ever retire.
Kim,
kasi
lower the volume
right
of your...
parang hobby
Kim, lower mo yung volume ng IG mo.
So,
lower mo yung volume ng IG mo, may nag-echo.
sorry.
There. Okay.
Yan ako marinig. Okay. Hello, ayan. So when I think of retiring, kasi parang feel ko, alam mo yung nasa beach ka lang, gano'n, painom-inom, Pero syempre ngayon naman nararanasan ko din yun. Siguro mga 3 days nasa beach ako. Tapos naho-homesick na ako agad. Parang gusto ko na ulit magtrabaho ulit. Namimiss ko siya na gano'n. So, pero yung sinabi mo nga Ate Vil na financial freedom, like you have the option to work or not. So, feel ko gusto ko mga 50, I have the option to, take longer breaks pag kailangan, na hindi ako nag-guilty. Kasi sometimes when I take longer breaks, parang feel ko, ang dami ko nang namimiss na opportunities dito sa work. Ganon. Pero, yeah, I think mga 50, yun yung target ko na pwede na akong medyo mag-rest ng konti. But at the same time, I don't think I'll ever retire nga from what I'm doing right now kasi masaya ako sa ginagawa ko. Ayan. And the next is, how do I break the bias in my own little way as an entrepreneur? Probably, Ate Vil, by setting an example. Kasi, parang I want, by setting an example, by sharing my stories and my experiences as an entrepreneur. Kasi parang, I started not knowing kung saan ako pupunta, but then, ngayon, narating ko naman kung saan ako, like kung saan ko gustong career ako. Hindi ko pa naman masasabi na super successful ako or like na-reach ko na yung pinaka-goal ko sa buhay. But the important thing for me is nasa right path ako, which is sa gusto kong career and sa masaya ako na career na ginagawa ko. So, and yeah, doon sa sinasabi ko na by sharing my story, siguro may isa or dalawa na may inspire na kahit iba yung course na tinapos mo, it's still okay to change your mind. And, kasi sometimes you feel stuck pag, okay, kasi ito yung course na tinapos ko, so dapat dito lang ako. And I want them to know that it's okay to pursue something that's different kung ano man yung nasimulan mo. Kasi, ikaw yan eh. I mean, like, what's 4 years compared to the rest of your life na hindi ka happy. Ayun. So, yeah. Yun lang. Thank you.
Okay, very nice, Kim. So, for those nakaka-login lang, na-mention ni Kim, no, sabi niya, number 1, gusto niya mag-retire at 50. Alam mo, to be honest, ako din, I'm on that. So, max ko talaga yung 55. So, talagang work, work, work. And then 55, 50, medyo, slow down na. And 55, I wanna have the option to, just slack around. Sabi nga niya, be in the beach or, whatever I want. Or kung gusto ko maging K-pop star when I'm 50 years old, diba? Why not? So, there. And sabi niya, number 1, how can she break the bias? Setting an example. Very good yun kasi kung mababalikan natin yung sinabi niya kanina, she actually has female workers. Mga mananahi niya, yung mga nagtatabas. Ganun. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with with the pananahi term, pero may mga ganun siyang employees. She's setting an example by, giving them incentives for quality performance. Hindi siya nag-discriminate kung male ito or female. The same time, she also shares her story. Kasi when personal stories kasi are always inspiring. Alam mo yon na kasi real story siya. Hindi yung nabasa mo lang na, ay, nabasa ko lang yan na fictional. No, these are real stories. And Kim's story is a real story na she finished a different course. She tried so much different different careers, no? And hindi siya naging masaya doon. Kumbaga, hindi niya napagtagumpayan. But here she is right now. Like sabi niya, she's not yet super big, but of course, this is a very important one. She is in the right path. So very important yun. So Sarah is back in our StreamYard. I will ask you, yun naman, how can you break the bias as an entrepreneur? So, paano mo naman, even in little ways, paano mo nababreak tong bias na to sa mga kababaihan?
I think when I've read that question, ang na-realize ko is in my nature of business, hindi naman masyadong na-experience yung bias when it comes to women. Kasi, diba, we're known, since I'm into shopping, ang mga experts talaga in shopping are known to be women. But then again, I realized now one way for me to remove the bias when it comes to entrepreneurs is actually supporting your fellow women entrepreneurs. Sa business naman, everyone is connected. So I actually have a lot of clients who are connected to other clients na interested in with their line of businesses. Like for example, I have clients who are interested in
Sorry, Sarah was disconnected during the last part of his talk here on Facebook. Please try to join na lang ulit via StreamYard. But I'm gonna recap it for everyone. Sabi niya, the industry where she is right now, luxury shopping, bags, shoes, mga damit, everything. She's actually happy that as she observes it, it's a woman's world. Kumbaga, mga kababaihan yung mga ano dito, sila yung mga bida. But this is very important, no? Sabi niya, I will break the bias against women by supporting fellow women entrepreneurs. So, support comes in so many forms. So, na-mention nga niya, sabi niya, everything is connected. Everything is connected. So, for instance, she has clients who has this kind of business, a food business, clients who has, like a water business. So, in her ways, in her own little ways, she also supports them by, availing of them or recommending it to her network. So, maganda yon because as she said, she values relationships. And in anything naman, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee in a company, we value relationship. Actually, that's one of my key criteria why I'm in my job right now, in my employment right now. It's one of the top things. No, I think it's actually the top thing that that's keeping me there is the relationships that I formed with my fellow uh, office mates. So very ano talaga, very essential kumbaga ang pag-value ng relationships. Okay, we're a bit out of over the time, but this is now my last question. Ayan. Ito pang Miss Universe question to. So segue lang, konting are you happy with what you're doing right now? And ito na yung Miss Universe. What advice would you give to your 22 years old self? Ayan. So, are you happy kayo ngayon sa ginagawa nyo? I'm sure naman. But ito mas important. What advice would you give your 22-year-old self? Start natin kay Sarah. Nawala siya. Nawala siya sa StreamYard. Sige, balik ka muna. Balik ka muna sa StreamYard. Unahin natin si Kim naman. She's there. Okay, okay. Okay, Sarah.
My advice for my 22 year I think is, kasi sobrang lost ako nung 22 years old ako. Alam mo yun, di ba ate? Hang in there. You have the power to create your own path and be different. And, you know, and there are many roads that could lead to arguably success in life. I feel like nung 22 ako, iba yung definition ko ng success. But then you have to remember that life is yours for the making. So you may be experiencing some challenges right now, but that would make you stronger and that would help you to be the best that you could be. That's it.
O, diba? Wait. Sige. Ayan. Very Miss Universe talaga yung sagot ni Sarah, no? She's not on IG now, but she said, to her 22-year-old self, hang in there. You have the power to create a good life or a good path for you. And third, gusto ko to, there's actually a lot of paths to take, and they could all lead you to success, kasi sabi nga niya, nag-iba yung definition niya ng success when she was 22 years old, and kung saan siya ngayon. So yeah, actually sa world na to, as women, there are a lot of factors, and there will be a lot of people, mga entities that will try to take the power out of us. So I think malalaman naman natin, or alam naman natin, but siguro, based on sa sinabi ni Sarah, don't let that happen, because you have the power to create nga, kumbaga, a nice path for your good future. So, kay Patrice naman tayo ngayon. What advice would you give your 22-year-old self?
Okay, so same with Sarah. When I was 22 years old, syempre struggling then. At that time, I was already 2 years working as an HR professional. So, syempre, pag bata ka kasi iba yung view mo of success, iba yung view mo of parang how your life should be in your 30s. So, now that I'm already 32, parang pag inisip ko kung ano yung mga iniisip ko nung 22 ako, parang sure ka ba na yun yung goal mo sa life? Sure ka ba na yun yung gusto mo? Kasi when I was 22, syempre, parang impatient tayo with life pag bata tayo Parang, I want to be old. I want to grow older na. Parang I can do so many things. Ganito, ganyan. And then, of course, turns out, 10 years later, magagawa mo rin naman pala eventually. Pero wag kang magmadali. Parang, chill ka lang. Kasi syempre, at 22 years old, parang ang dami mong energy. Go tayo. Sige, ideas. Ganito, ganyan. And then, the tendency is to lose focus on what really matters. So now that I'm already 32, parang looking back, I was still able to do the things that I wanted to do back then. Nung time na nagkaka-anxiety ako, I wanted to do it siguro when I was still younger. Pero syempre, hindi mo naman laging ma-expect kung anong dadating sa'yo. So, eventually, kung ano talaga yung goal mo sa life, dadating at dadating siya. Doon ako naniwala Parang, wag mong mamadaliin. Eventually, everything will fall into place. Before, hindi ko naintindihan yung saying na yun Di ba? Parang, sinasabi mo dyan, ano yan? Parang, it doesn't make sense. And now that you're already experiencing life firsthand, yung struggles, your responsibilities, yung adulting in general, di ba? Parang, ganun pala yun. Parang tama pala sila. Especially with your parents before, pag tinuturuan ka nila, pag nagkaroon ka ng kid, ganito, ganyan. Parang, hindi naman ako magiging ganyan pag magka-kid na ako, ganyan. Pero wala, eventually, ganun talaga siya Parang, yun, with my 22-year-old self, ang pinaka-advice ko lang, chill ka lang. And yun, hindi kasi ako happy sa HR life ko before, sa office life. Parang sa generation naman yata natin, parang ayaw natin ng, ang tawag dito, parang nakakulong ka. or people pushing you to do things for them than for yourself. So ako, guilty ako doon kasi parang mas gusto ko nang may freedom ako to do what I want, which eventually I was able to do naman. And yun, talagang dahil ginusto mo yan, parang fight for it. Yun lang talaga. Like now, I can say that I'm not yet financially stable when it comes to business, but at least I'm able to send my child to a good school. I'm able to buy her what she needs. I'm able to provide, basically. And we're not struggling na like, hindi namin iniisip, ano kakainin natin the next day, gano'n. Parang, eventually everything will fall into place lang talaga. That's it.
Very nice, Patrice. Kasi lahat naman tayo dumaan sa 22 years old, no? But in my case, of course, when I was 22, I was in law school. So kahit gusto kong mag-chill siguro noon, hindi talaga ako makakapag-chill, no? But yeah, very very good 'yon. Don't rush and don't lose sight. Don't lose focus on what really matters. It's a very good reminder, especially in this world, no? Grabe, lahat tayo nagmamadali. Guilty ako dyan kasi ako gusto ko tapos agad na ganyan. But yeah, it's great to be reminded na I hope we don't lose sight, no, on what really matters. And obviously she said she wasn't in her best place when she was practicing her career as an HR professional, but now she is she said she isn't like big, like super like big in her business yet, but what matters, sabi nga niya, she sends her kid to a nice school, all of their needs are provided, and that's actually, and she can actually say right now na andito na siya sa right path, kumbaga. So very ako, sige, I will mention that to myself na don't lose sight on what's on what really matters, and thank you for that reminder. So last but not the least, Kim, ano naman sasabihin mo sa 22-year-old self mo? I know kahapon lang yon, pero sige na nga, sabihin mo na rin.
Mukha lang ate, mukha lang. Pero yeah, I'm 28, ngayon magta-29 na. So, 22 years old, probably kakagraduate ko lang ng college or working. First time to work sa corporate world. And yung advice na ibibigay ko sa sarili ko is, syempre, cliche man, pero syempre, follow your heart. And meron din kasi talaga akong nabasa na magandang quote somewhere. Pero sa Pinterest talaga. Sabi doon is, start now, start with whatever you have, start with fear, start with your hands shaking, start with your knees trembling. So kasi pag I feel like ang daming tao ngayon na alam nila kung anong gusto nilang gawin, pero parati silang nagme-make excuses na, ay, hindi pa ako ready, or, nakakatakot to, or what. Pero looking back, if hindi ako nag-start during that time or years ago, kung hindi ako nag-start, siguro I'm still stuck sa corporate job ko na sobrang lungkot ko, na dinadrag ko yung self ko everyday to work. And feeling ko right now super regret lang yung nararamdaman ko everyday, which is sobrang nakakalungkot yun for anyone na may i-regret ka. Kasi magugulat ka na lang ilang years from now. Ang bilis lang ng years eh. So pag hindi ka nag-start ngayon, wala. Mararamdaman mo na lang, time will pass you by, and magigising ka na lang na 80 ka na, 90 ka na, and i-regret mo na hindi ka nag-start now. So, yeah, yun yung sasabihin ko sa 22 years old self ko. Thank you.
Ganda, Kim. Ganda. Alam mo, yung message mo sa akin mamaya yung start now, start with fear, start with your knees
whatever you have.
Trembling. Start with whatever you have. Start with your knees
With
trembling. Start with, ano pa ba?
Hands shaking.
Hands shaking. Ayan. So, ganda. Sometimes kasi yung fear, yun yung nag-ano sa atin na parang, shucks, ano kaya mangyayari? What if bumagsak? What if mawala yung pera ko? What if, ang dami nating what ifs. Ako din, kahit medyo old na ako, I'm an old millennial. So, I'm 36 years old. So, but I still like have, those sometimes irrational fears. And gusto ko yon, start now. Kasi kahit anong bagay man yan, especially with our finances, kahit napakaliit niyan, as long as you start now, kahit sabi mo, ay, ano naman mararating ng 500 pesos. Hindi. Kasi ngayon, makikita mo maliit siya, pero pag nagpatong-patong yan over 6 months, over 1 year, over 2 years, over 10 years, mas maganda pa rin na meron kang sinimulan kesa doon sa wala. So, mas maganda talaga na mag-start maliit. Gaya nga ng sinabi ni Kim kanina, yung where Kim Santiago did, hindi talaga nag-boom before pandemic. Who would have thought, no? Ang tagal ng sinimulan ni Kim neto, pero during the pandemic doon pa lang siya nag-boost. And what if, 'di ba? What if kinain siya ng mga what if niya noon or fears niya. So she wouldn't have this today. But so yeah, that's actually a very nice reminder. And to close, no, siguro I would also tell my 22-year-old self, chill ka lang, mag-aral kang mabuti. Kasi I was in law school and I was in my second year in law school. Wag na natin sabihin, but that was, I think, 2007. So, but yeah, at the same time, I know that we're talking to entrepreneurs right now, and yung common denominator nila was they were not happy with what they had when they were employed and that. But of course, kapag ang niche nyo naman, if you are happy with where you are right now, if you are employed, you are in good company. I'm speaking for myself. I am employed in a good company, and I'm also in good company. I have made good friendships, relationships over a period of time dun sa work ko. And I can say that I'm happy with the job that I do. I am fulfilled. Kumbaga nakakapag yung mga needs ko are also provided with the job that I have right now. At the same time, kahit pa konti-konti, nagsimula din ako sa Diyos ko, hindi niyo iisipin, no, kasi iniisip natin, naku, lawyer yan, daming pera yan. I wish. But small things, no? Dati nagsimula din ako with 500 lang na insurance, hindi amortization, yung monthly, yung premium. Kasi yun lang yung kaya kong i-release during a certain period of time. But yun nga, I'm glad I started kasi kumbaga parang napagbuti ko naman siya over the years. So, as a reminder to everyone, whether or not you're an entrepreneur, you're an employee, kumbaga you're a stay-at-home mom, ano pa ba, you're an overseas Filipino workers, OFW. So hi sa ating OFWs. I know some of you are watching right now. Whatever you have right now that kumbaga na, balik ko lang si Sarah ha, na you are earning something from it, na yun yung kabuhayan natin. Let's just be grateful and use them wisely, no? Na mag-start tayo ang importante na sa right path, and may na-start tayo na pakonti-konti. So, this has been a very fruitful discussion with these wonderful women. May mga nakikita akong comments dito. Give it a try. You will never know unless you try. Purita Blanco. Is she your mom, Patrice? Or...
Yes.
Ayan. Hello po. I'm not sure if I've met you before, but hi. Yan, thank you thank you, Patrice. Ayan, your family is, nandito sila to support, But yeah, to close, ayan, sorry, we're over time na. I-mention ko lang ulit yung mga pinagkakabalahan ng mga ladies natin. So with Kim, she has Wear Kim Santiago. Ayan, makikita nyo yan sa IG, and she also has Shopee. Si Sarah naman, meron siyang Iluso. Yan. So if you want nice purses, nice shoes, yan, follow nyo lang siya. She gets the best deal. But of course, sabi nga niya kanina, huwag kayong bibili kung hindi nyo kayang i-ano ha. So yan, may warning naman siya, to be fair. But she really has the good stuff. Last but not the least, ayan, itong si Patrice, 3 businesses. Peace Oven, na-try ko na yan. They're matcha cookies. Ayan. So she's actually the niece of my office mate, si Sheil. So she brought some cookies from Patrice before. And she also has MPM, the clothing line for kids. And she has MPM Prints Manila, which is also on Shopee, mga personalized masks naman. So I hope we all support these ladies sa mga businesses nila, whatever we can afford to support at this point. Walang maling sagot. So thank you, Sarah, Kim, Patrice, and thank you to all the viewers right now sa Bixie Live. Thank you for being with us every week. No, this week medyo napaaga yung live natin because today is International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day, and don't forget to download the Bixie app. It's both available for download on Android and iOS. Tapos kapag nag-download kayo today, we have a partner, UBX via Assured. They're giving out 100 free personal coverage. So download kayo, punta kayo sa community, i-comment nyo lang, break the bias. Ayan, break the bias for International Women's Day. So comment, break the bias, and we will contact you and give you your free insurance coverage. So thank you so much. It has been a very productive night. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Sarah and
Thank you,
Patrice. And
Ate
thank you
Bill.
all the women and women.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And happy
Bye.
International Women's Day.
Happy
Bye-bye.
International